The World Seniors Darts Match Play in 2024, well, it's culminating in this clash of tungsten titans. The World Seniors World Champion, John Henderson, takes on the defending Match Play champion, Leonard Gates, who also holds the Masters title as well. Hendo looking to do a double this year, Gates looking to do a double in this tournament. It's all built up to this really exciting, enticing crescendo of an encounter. The Highlander Henderson looking to take the title back to Scotland after Robert Thornton won the inaugural event. But Leonard Gates, who beat Thornton in the semi-finals to get here, wants to hold on to that trophy. Will it be a delightful defence for the soldier from the USA, or will the Highlander Henderson get his hands on the World Match Play trophy to go with that World Championship? We will find out over the best of 17 legs, maybe more if it is tight in the end. And guiding you through it with me, Chris Murphy,
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
for
First leg,
what we hope is a thrilling finale. It's Phil Bars.
Thank you very much, Chris, and welcome along everyone to the Seniors World Match Play final. And you just get the sense that this could be something
41.
special. They both have explosive games in them. We saw that from John Henderson in spells. And the dancing soldier, Leonard Gates, has delighted the York Barbican so far, Murph.
Well, Phil, you've been speaking to the players after every victory. We've heard what they've had to say, but for you, who's had that real glint in their eye?
I think they both have to a certain degree, but if you're asking me across every round, Leonard Gates, I think that John Henderson has grown into the tournament. He was disgusted with his own performance yesterday, but he's got better and better.
59.
And the spell after the break against David Cameron, for me, is the best spell of darts we've seen in the whole tournament. But can he hook it up regularly?
I think that's fair to say. It was a slow start against Tony
99.
O'Shea yesterday. Got through it in the end, 8-5, then beat Cameron with that six-leg surge this afternoon before getting the better of Richie Housen. Much fancy. We had a glittering lineup for the semi-finals.
83.
All of them holders, or winners, should I say, of World Seniors Majors.
Yeah, and this is an intriguing one because we have
121.
the world champion, the world match play champion, going head to head. Something has to give.
140.
Well, Leonard Gates really should have plenty in the tank. He was 8-1 against Lisa Ashton. It probably should have been 9-1 against Robert Thornton before there was a mini comeback from
125.
Henderson's fellow Scott, eventually winning that one 9-4, Leonard Gates.
Yeah, and Leonard Gates is going to get an early opportunity to break the Henderson throw.
Well, this is where he could miscount. Should be the bullseye.
94.
Got the sums right and has done,
55.
in fairness, throughout this tournament. And we know where Hendo will go. Tops has been on the end of his arm in this
Game
tournament,
shot the first
and it
leg.
lands in the first
John
leg of the final.
Henderson.
Yeah, and I think this is where this one will be won or lost, is John Henderson's doubling, because when it is on, it is irresistible. But it has been patchy. It's not been there as regularly as he would like. But we know
60.
that Tops is his beloved. Will he fall in love with it again this evening?
Yeah, we've seen Leonard Gates be able to front run throughout this tournament. So if Henderson can hit him hard early, it's a different conundrum for the American, and that seems to be the Scotsman's ploy. An 8-180 tying up the tally between them for the tournament. Richie Housen also had 8. Whoever hits the next will
59.
lead the tournament stats in that metric.
Yeah, John Henderson
100.
is probing the Leonard Gates throw here. The first time that he's examining it and what he'd give for an early lead. But the soldier will have something to say about that.
Still advantage Henderson. He has taken the throw in this second leg. Difficult darts to get past. Doesn't need to bother.
57.
Gates needs to find something big here.
121.
You'd be disappointed with the last start. The first two
164.
were brilliant, but Henderson, the 164, treble 18 for the ball. Bullseye for Henderson. Oh, it goes astray.
128.
Would have been the biggest checkout of the tournament. Freedom Gulliver's 160. Is that thus far? This would be Leonard Gates' biggest checkout of the tournament, and by some margin. Hasn't had a three-figure finish in this event.
And the happy accident from John Henderson, missing
25.
the ball,
John
but
O'Connor,
leaves
36.
double 18 for a 2-0 lead in the final.
Game shot
Henderson
second leg.
is on
John
point.
Henderson.
The seniors world champion has an early advantage over the soldier Leonard Gates here at the Barbican in York.
Good recovery there in that visit from Henderson after faltering with the first two throws. In terms of the tournament,
59.
nothing between them really. Average for Henderson running at 87.12 before this final. Gates 86.68.
95.
He did have one more maximum, Leonard Gates, but Henderson has now levelled up that tally, so really difficult to choose a favourite for this final.
No, I don't think there was a lot between them at all, Chris. That stats suggested that it was going to be close, and I still think it will be. Wouldn't surprised if we had overtime potentially.
100.
Now that can happen. It can be a match play marathon. 8 apiece, and
98.
the winner must succeed by 2 clear legs. If it gets to 11 apiece, it would be sudden death.
And we all remember the PDC match play final between Gary Anderson and Mensur Sulovic.
Yeah, it's just finished.
Deep into
95.
added time at the Winter Gardens.
Brilliant when it gets really tense, doesn't it? It takes on a different dynamic at that point when you've got to win by a couple of legs clear. Also gives you a little bit more hope, the player that's trading. If, say, you're 8-6 behind,
100.
you know you only need to win 2 legs to elongate the match rather than 3 legs to win it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a massive thing in match play. And that's a slip from Henderson. Just gives Gates a glimmer of an opportunity here to get us back on throw. The 104 from Leonard Gates. Let's see which way he's going to go. The 16s it is, needs a treble and can't find it, so Henderson will return for tops.
This is all coming very easily to John Henderson at the moment.
He's
certainly on
John
top.
Henderson. For the Leonard to throw first. Game on.
You feel Leonard Gates needs to get something going here. Cannot let Henderson get 4 legs in front. It will be a double break, meaning Gates would be in a world of trouble
16.
because we know that Henderson is a fabulous front runner. We saw it at the Circus Tavern back in February, the semi-finals and finals. He didn't drop a set.
98.
You cannot let this man front run.
And it's exactly what he did, as you said, in that Circus Tavern
59.
final against Colin McGarry. It was a straight sets victory, as described there by Phil Bars. Just looking at the way he's done it,
82.
similar to the way that Leonard Gates has done things in this tournament. So it poses a problem here because Leonard hasn't got any recent experience of being behind, especially this far behind.
100.
No, and I go back to the quarter-final against David Cameron. Hendo was in a world of trouble, 4-1 and 6-3 down, but he found the most majestic phase
140.
I've seen in this tournament. It was vintage John Henderson. He raced through the gears and Excalibur didn't have the answers. And right now, I'm not sure Gates does
100.
either.
And it has kind of been famine or feast for John Henderson in seniors tournaments, but it looks like it's going to be feast here in York this weekend. when he's been allowed to get into the tournament, then we found that dominant favourite force, haven't we?
Yeah, tops for the double break and 4-0. John Henderson is not missing right now. The Highlander is in complete control of this final. And like Chris alluded to a minute ago, feast or famine, it's very much, reminds me of Phil Taylor back in the day in the PDC. If you didn't get him early, you didn't get him at all. And it's very similar with Henderson in the seniors right now.
Yeah, this time last year, made his seniors match play debut. Lost in the opening round to David Cameron, then went to the World Championship and won. Champion of champions, first round defeat to Andy Hamilton. Here, he's grown into this tournament
100.
and he's well on course to winning it. He's pretty much at the halfway line here, and Leonard Gates isn't out of the starters blocks.
No, it has been blistering early on from John Henderson, averaging a shade over 98. Leonard Gates is averaging 92, but it has just been sublime from Henderson so far. We questioned the doubling early on because it has been dodgy throughout this tournament, but it has been on point so far in the final.
And that 92 is pretty much a scoring only average, isn't it? Because there's only been a dart at the bullseye.
Yeah, we look at it there. John Henderson's overall average is higher than his first 9. The doubling's been that good.
And a couple of 13 darters
41.
in there
81.
from Henderson, but Gates here will get a go at some kind of double. Well, he's on the ball, but isn't going for
49.
it. By hook or by crook, he left himself a double. It was a strange way to go just to leave that.
Yeah, and potentially this gives him a lifeline at the first break. 5-0, I'm not sure he could come back. 4-1 gives him a glimmer. 8-8. And Leonard Gates does have a leg on the board. How pivotal could that be going into the first break?
Henderson would have won that session 5-0, and he would have been closer
85.
to winning the final than Gates would be to him. 4 away from the line with Gates 5 behind him.
Yeah, and
81.
we know that Leonard can be a streaky player, but once he gets on one of those streaks, it can be hard to knock off.
Yeah, in fact, we've seen both players do that. Important spell of the match, so if Henderson gets too close to the finish, just like Gates did himself against Robert Thornton in the semi, then he knows how difficult it is, because he's going to get an opportunity somewhere.
Yeah, and we've seen John Henderson, even when he was struggling early on, the way he's finished games has been impressive. He's not given his opponent a second chance. He's put them to bed when the opportunity has been there.
85.
Of course, coming back off the break, Henderson just a little bit slower out the blocks than he was in the opening session. Gates down to a finish first, but look, it's a tricky one. The 1-3-3 have to move around the board, and it's not going to go. So we're looking to set this up and hoping John Henderson can't take out the 1-5-2.
93. John O'Connor 152.
Well, those hopes come to pass. Gates
78.
could be in, albeit with a break in between, for a quick fire couple of legs.
No score.
And remember, John Henderson has not missed a dart at double. He should get another here.
It's going to get 2. Double 16 is pinned. The Highlander has punished the mistake from Leonard Gates. 3 clear at tops to cut the gap to 2 was missed. Passed by. Henderson doesn't find himself in that corner of the board too often, but he pins it 5-1 to the world champion.
Well, the tournament may be ending how it started, because the very opening match between Richie House and Trina Gulliver saw a 9-leg run
59.
of perfect doubling. John Henderson here is 5 from 5. If he goes on his own 9-leg run of that, then he'll be lifting the trophy
60.
in not very long.
Yeah, Gates will be so disappointed there that he got himself back into this contest just before the break, and then to pass up
100.
3 at tops at such a key moment may come back to haunt him. Even though John Henderson won that 6th leg, he's not come out
95.
after the break with the same intensity in the scoring phase. Yes, the doubling is still perfect, but that power scoring has just deserted him right now.
Are we seeing symmetry from the
85.
semis here? Because Leonard kind of let up a little bit against Robert Thornton himself, didn't he?
He did, Chris, you're absolutely right. And you just see a glimpse of John Henderson there in the background, and that frown is getting a little bit bigger at the moment because he can't produce what he did in that first session.
60.
Trying to force through a shot that might not have really been available there, John Henderson. And that gives Gates 2 visits to make the 147 clearance.
83.
Now Henderson, what he'd give just to leave tops, that's not going to happen, but needs a treble here.
60.
Can't find one, so Gates looking at 64 for another break. Should stay there. Double 16.
48.
Opportunity missed.
And look at the shot that John Henderson's left. This was a tide turner this afternoon in the quarterfinals. And is that the difference? At that point he was on song. But suddenly here, the Scotsman's radar is off.
Yeah, and Gates, double 8. Now he moves across. It's all getting a bit messy.
14.
And the frustration there from the soldier.
But such a scrappy visit from Henderson has left him with 99 problems. Well, a treble ain't one. And it's 2 for top.
79.
And finally, there's a flinch on the outer ring.
But we know this can be difficult. No room to manoeuvre.
No score.
The over adjustment.
20.
And Gates has failed again.
2 10s. Huge moments. And that could be the pivotal point of this final.
8th leg Leonard to through first.
With being lavishing purple pros on John Henderson for the way that he'd powered through this match, but it could be the scrappiest leg of all that proves to be the determining factor. Gates had his chance.
140.
Henderson, though, managed to snaffle the leg.
I know it's all if, buts and maybes, Chris, and 6-1 looks a daunting scoreline, but this could easily
83.
be 4-3.
Yeah, great point, and there've been plenty of those types of encounters over the course of the week. In fact, this afternoon,
45.
Leonard Gates against Lisa Ashton, where she only won 1 leg, but she was pretty much on a double in every leg, certainly in that first session.
100.
It was our very own Bobby George
97.
that informed me that if, maybe a small word, but it is half of life.
$96.
So Gates just looking to leave a nice, manageable finish here. The doubles have deserted in the last couple of legs.
99.
He leaves 120. How much pressure can John Henderson apply?
Maybe plenty.
100.
He'll be probably slightly disappointed, and there may have been an option there of a 25 bull.
78.
Just too many sloppy darts have crept in to Leonard Gates at the moment. But John Henderson should start 18s here. Treble leaves the ball. Gates will return, and that look from Henderson says it all.
96. London car 42.
So double 16 is the choice.
Game shot the A flag.
And it's fouled by Leonard Gates, who at least keeps himself in with a shout here.
Game on.
That, of course, means that the match will reach a third session.
135.
But John Henderson will not want to give Leonard any encouragement here whatsoever.
135.
He's done that once already and gotten away with it. Will not want to give the American a second glimpse.
Oh, he'd love another.
100.
And he'd love another 4-1 session. It's still on for him. Gates still has it all to do.
85.
And the grouping on that 180 was on a pinhead, so tightly packed together.
Yeah, and the Highlander has now
58.
hit more maximums than anybody in this tournament.
$85. John Lucar 128.
It doesn't need to go the eye-catchy way here. Would he just start on the 20s instead of the 18s? He does. 68. Now he can just set this up.
88.
Smart, intelligent darts. Great board management from Henderson.
And he took his time over it as well. Real
82.
focus, real
John Lucar,
pragmatism
40.
there from Henderson, who will once again have a look at his favourite double. Now the cover on 10. And John Henderson edges ever closer to a second World Seniors glory.
The Scot is 2 legs from victory. If Leonard Gates is going to get back in this one, he is going to have to make a move. And it has to be now. He has no time to spare.
But for the 180s, he is outscoring John Henderson.
100.
The 2 treble turns are there for Leonard Gates, but it's been the finishing from Henderson in the early part of the match in particular that have just left Gates with nowhere to go.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, isn't it? You touch on how good Henderson's finishing has been in this final, and you're bang on with it. But then flip the coin, how poor Gates has been in key moments as well.
Yeah. It's not just the doubling that's part of it, but you've got to get to them.
100.
There are times in legs where you'd be on something like this and maybe then throwing in a bad score, suddenly the door's open for the opponent again.
43.
What's the situation going to be at this break? Is Gates going to be in touch? Or is he going to be tiptoeing on the tightrope?
Well, all of a sudden, if this is a 2 treble visit or better, there's huge pressure on the 120.
Exactly what we said, wasn't it? In that kind of spot, 161, he only managed to score 41. He gets away with it. And he may take this out for a first ton topper of his tournament. And Leonard Gates seals the Shanghai.
It's just a case of when, not if, he is crowned seniors match play champion. But if Gates can break and hold, then potentially we've got a game on still. We know one thing, that John doesn't choke towards the end of games. The way he won the World Championship at the Circus Tavern, the way he won the World Cup in the PDC proves that he knows how to win big games.
Yeah, winning the big ones has come a little later in life, hasn't it, to John Henderson? Same could be said for Leonard Gates, who really made his name in the World Seniors. Of course, he was excellent in
55
North American tournaments, but even playing darts came a little later in life for Leonard.
Yeah, baseball the soldiers' first love and then picked up the arrows.
Well, Phil, alongside me, you said that Gates had to win this leg. He looks like he's going to win this leg. Henderson has come out a little cold.
Yeah, Henderson very much off the pace after the break. It was the same last time around, and Gates had opportunities, multiple ones, couldn't take it, and that was the catalyst to the scoreline being where we are now. This could be very much closer because of those missed starts at double and Henderson's finishing being immaculate.
44, London your car 36.
So for that break, a timely break.
Game shot the
Gates
11th flag.
is in the match. Gates is in the final now, throwing to reduce
Game on.
what was once a 5-leg deficit to just 2.
And it goes back to the point we were talking about earlier, Chris, that
82.
in this match play environment, it gives you that little bit of a hope because you have to win by 2 clear. So even if John gets to 8, it's not the end of the
43.
world.
He's going through a little bit of a lull here. John Henderson, Leonard Gates will be determined to feed off it.
58.
Needs to find a treble here
60.
and can't. So Henderson has been unable to punish Gates. Now can Leonard find another treble? And he can. So all of a sudden it is looking a lot closer because John has been slow coming back after the session break.
140.
Darts like that can make a difference. It was all going swimmingly for Gates, but suddenly Henderson's going to overtake him here.
123.
Down to a finish first, but Gates will be thinking, if I can set this up, I should be back, because the 135 is not a gimme. Playing percentages, however, we know that John is more than capable, but the odds would suggest that Gates will be back for 92.
Treble 20 would have left the bullseye. Gates has a choice to make when he returns. 92 could start on the bull.
99.
If he backs himself to a treble, it'll be treble 20.
Conservative or aggressive? He's gone the aggressive route. Now is it double-double, or does he try and find the treble? Tried to find the treble, but now he's relying on John Henderson missing again.
Well, there is a miss. Henderson didn't like that. He won't be too fond of that, but he'll be very happy with that.
John Henderson.
Because that is a break of throw that sees John Henderson move to the brink of match play glory.
The Highlander is one away from adding the seniors match play to his world championship. 95. He won back in February. Leonard Gates will now have to run 4 consecutive legs to take us to overtime.
Big ass. Similar situation to the one that he inflicted on Robert Thornton in the semi-final earlier tonight. He saw off one Scotsman.
100.
But this one is closing in on the win.
And Leonard Gates will look back at this final
95.
knowing he had opportunities. The scoreline suggests it's been comfortable for Henderson, but it's been far from it. Gates has had his opportunities, not taken them, and John has jumped over every single miss from Gates.
One of them 40.
Would have been a good time to fill it up. In fact, every time for the rest of the game would be a good time for Leonard Gates. But how much time does he have left?
40.
Should be starting
26.
downstairs. 419s leave the ball.
96.
It was in. We couldn't see, but John Henderson, this is your moment.
Finish line in sights. On his favourite double.
29.
One championship dart has gone begging for Henderson. But it's getting tricky for Gates. One more opportunity, and he takes it. The soldier is still in this. Henderson has had and missed the opportunity. And he thought it was his throw, Chris.
Bamboozled, bemused. But could he be beaten? As Leonard Gates soldiers on. Henderson made to wait, literally. Now it's his throw. And he faces a 140 start from Gates.
I know this plan sounds simple, but it's hold, break, hold for Gates to send us to overtime. Sounds simple when you put it like that.
He's done the hard work getting that break back straight away.
95.
Henderson did well to match the two treble opener. You can almost sense the determination
95.
now from Henderson. He doesn't want to mess around anymore. But it's blow for blow in this leg.
58.
Gates cannot leave a finish. John Henderson can pile pressure on the Gates throw here. Leaves
96.
the big fish. What has Gates got left?
Well, if you are going to win a tournament,
100.
why not win it in style?
70.
Is he about to go fishing? Another bullseye to win it in style.
145.
He knows it was close, and by that reaction, he felt it was good as it left the fingers.
108.
Oh, that would have been something. So close. Henderson needs to forget it. He's got his back turned, but he will return.
58.
John Henderson
John
has missed
25.
2 championship darts already. Is this the time for the Highlander to add the match play to the World Championship? Double 12 for Henderson. He composes himself, stares down the target. Double 6, it's getting nervy.
90.
And more have gone begging, Chris.
50.
4 match darts, 4 championship darts. And Gates gets another go. But he
34.
can't find it. It's all too much. But it could have been a 170 to wrap up the tournament. Henderson so good on top. Can he go south and take it on double 3? He looks pretty much locked out here.
3.
And that proved to be the case.
Leonard, you will cast
He
16.
couldn't see any of that, and it is now 7 championship darts missed for the Highlander.
Game
And
shot
Gates
40
is
left.
still in this.
Leonard Gates.
Does he believe?
50th late jump.
Our friend and colleague Chris
Game
Mason
on.
sometimes says, if your name's on pot, maybe, just maybe, it's Leonard Gates' day after 7 championship darts go missing.
Well, Henderson will now feel he has to do it in this leg. And that's a good way to go about it, because as you mentioned, Phil, earlier on, that hold, break, hold. This would be the break. If Gates gets it, he'll be throwing for 8 apiece, and then Henderson suddenly 2 away
78.
again, not 1 away as he has been since 8-4.
We all thought this was done. The drama here at the York Barbican has been cranked up once again. Leonard Gates could have rolled over, but he hasn't. The soldier is fighting with
60.
everything he has right now.
It was Gates who had to fend off the fight back of one tenacious Titan in Robert Thornton.
45.
Now he's fighting back himself against another senior Scot.
Oh my, what's happening here? And look at the reaction from Gates. All of a sudden, it is game on once again in the match play final.
$81.
Well, it's okay, but that's all it is from John Henderson.
Gates will be thinking, just leave me something manageable.
60. John Carr, 135.
And that's not okay.
Yeah, and he could have gone elsewhere to leave a slightly easier finish, albeit a bigger one. Henderson's getting a chance. For the ball.
99.
Make that 8.
The number keeps rising. But Leonard Gates, have you got a ton topper to break the Henderson throw? Treble 18 and ball. And he's not going to get a go, so surely, John Henderson, this is your moment once again.
It has been a gripping game. A dramatic end. Henderson composes himself. And eventually, John Henderson masters the match play.
Leonard, commiserations, it wasn't to be in the final. You gave it everything, but where did that one slip away from you?
John played great. My darts wasn't hitting, his was hitting. He hit at the right times. I missed at the wrong time, so yeah, he did great.
At the end of it, you almost forced a way back into it, put pressure on him, you missed a couple of championship darts. Did you feel the comeback was still on at that point?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just something I have to find in my game to get that if I'm behind, but if I'm ahead, I'm gonna lead, but hey, he knew how to stay ahead and win, and that's what he did.
In the seniors, is that the hardest final that you've played in, being the competitor and the battler that John is?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a great competitor. He's a great shot. He hit the darts when he needed to hit them, and he stayed consistent. So that's the thing I have to work on my game, is just staying consistent and to finish.
Does this keep you fired up for November? You still hold the Masters title. Heading to Sunderland, is that now a must-win for you?
I'm not gonna say it's a must-win, but it's I need to win. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it going, keep the camaraderie going, the competition going with these guys, and we're gonna see how it's gonna go.
Well, Leonard, thank you very much. You have thrilled this York crowd, and we're now going to bring in the champion. John Henderson. That smile says it all. You have added the seniors match play to the World Championship. Just sum up what the emotions are like right now.
It's my form coming into this was not in a good place. I wasn't playing well. I was been to Players Championships, and the results, I'm playing not too bad, but the results weren't there. So to come here and I feel as strong as it is to win this means everything to me. So I'll take a lot from it.
You were slow out the blocks yesterday, but you've got better and better. Early in this final, the finishing was immaculate. Do you think that's what won you this?
I do believe, because doubles has been my Achilles this week or this year. But no, I started off strong tonight, and I got 4-1 up in the first break against Leonard, and I knew I was going to get some kind of fight back from him. But I'm just glad I think he gave me it. But no, I fought hard, and I'm glad just to get over the line.
I don't want to remind you, but when you've missed 8 championship darts, what's going through your mind as you step up to try and win it once again?
8. Oh, I didn't realise it was 8, but no, the pressure's unbelievable. I felt my hand shaking. That double 8. If that double 18 didn't go in the third dart, this was going the distance. Yes, I've got the darts, but I'm just so glad to go over the line.
How does this feel to add a second seniors televised title to the CV? We saw the World Championship at the Circus Tavern. You're now the match play champion. Are you now dreaming of seniors domination and holding all 4 at once?
Well, don't get me wrong, winning these seniors is brilliant. And we all want to go on the main tour, obviously. That's my main aim. But see, this seniors has been the making of me. I'm glad I've been in it. I'm glad to be the world champion, now the world match play. I'm very proud to be, and I can't but thank this crowd enough for the night. You've been an absolute wow for me. Thank you so much.
next event is a month away in Sunderland. He holds it. Could we see you two in the final of the Masters?
Oh, we'll go there and we'll do my best again, as Leonard will as well. He's an absolute gentleman on and off the hockey, and we'll all go there battling for the Masters, but I'll be there to win it, as Leonard will, so bring it on.
John Henderson, many congratulations. Thank you very much for the weekend. Pleasure.
Well, appreciate that,
As we hand you over to Paul Starr for the presentations.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, can you please welcome our World Seniors Darts Tour ambassadors, Daniela and Charlotte. Well, what a wonderful, wonderful couple of days of darts we've seen here at the York Barbican, and we are ready, and the players are ready, and it's trophy time. So receiving the silver medal, your Bet Goodwin World Seniors Match Play finalist of 2024, the soldier, Leonard Gates. And now receiving the gold medal, this wonderful trophy. He is the new Bet Goodwin World Seniors Match Play champion, the Highlander Big John Henderson. One more time, the Bet Goodwin World Seniors Match Play champion of 2024, the Highlander